The pace to life was like very fast, very fast. And you might know that when you've grown up in a city or you've lived in a city, you know that the pace of life is very fast. They often say time is money. And in that sense, I feel like that's how we're being raised a little bit. And to me, that just didn't fit me. And for a long time, I was finding myself within anxiety. I even went into depression at the beginning of my 20s, and I didn't understand why I was feeling that way. But for sensitive souls, it is freaking overwhelming, and it's not where I wanted to live in, how I wanted to end up. You can be in freaking paradise and still feel unhappy and unfulfilled. And so there is a lot to freedom. So in this episode, I want to share with you how can we become a free human. I am redefining this in this process or in this day and time as we speak. That's what I'm searching for. And I want to share with you some of my findings and some of the things that I found throughout the years and throughout the journey that I'm going through right now in becoming a free human. How can we escape the matrix? For real, how can we become free of our conditioning, of our patterns, our habits? How can we become free humans? For real. So if that's something that you love to learn more about, then stay around.
How does it feel to be alive, to be free? Are we truly in the here and now, or are we living a dream that we created? Close your eyes to see clearly. This is life on purpose.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of On Purpose by Lynn. For those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Lynn and I share with you everything you need to know about personal development and spirituality so that you can create your best life and so that you can rise to your fullest potential. If that's something that you're interested in, then make sure to subscribe. So I currently feel that I'm racing a little bit against the clock because the sun has just set and I feel like I still have a little bit of time, but let's see how it goes. Full surrender to nature. So yeah, I realize that some of you might not know me and I sometimes have to reintroduce myself a little bit. But these last couple of 5 years for me has been all about freedom. Freedom of environment, choosing to be wherever I want to be. Freedom within myself, especially. Freedom within my emotions. Freedom within who I am. Freedom within my conditioning. Freedom within finance. How to figure out how to become a free human. Some people talk about sovereignty. I completely did not pronounce that correctly. But sovereignty. And I do believe that, it is, I don't only believe it, I know it's our right to be sovereign human beings. But how do we get there? And especially because we're not raised to be that. We're not conditioned to be that. And it's not only within maybe some family dynamics that you've learned that, but it's also within our cultural system. And so when I was going through a spiritual awakening, for some of you who don't know, I'll very briefly explain a little bit of my background and what brought me to even being so obsessed with freedom. I was living in Holland. I was living the city life. And I was career climbing. I did my studies. When I finished high school, I did my studies. I started working in a corporate job. I lived in an apartment, and in Amsterdam. And the pace to life was like very fast, very fast. And you might know that when you've grown up in a city or you've lived in a city, you know that the pace of life is very fast. And they often say time is money. And in that sense, I feel like that's how we're being raised a little bit. And to me, that just didn't fit me. And for a long time, I was finding myself within anxiety. I even went into depression at the beginning of my 20s. And I didn't understand why I was feeling that way. I didn't understand why I felt like that. And it almost, well, not almost, I started to really think like something is wrong with me. Everyone else seems to be happy, but I'm just not. I'm not happy and I don't know why. And so I started this journey of health and well-being, and I started to discover like bodily health, and then I found out about, okay, it's not only your body fitness, it's our mental health too. And then after I started to go more into that, and I started to travel and see different parts of the world and different cultures and norms and standards, I kind of started seeing that conditioning is just that. It's cultural beliefs that are developed by a collective, right? It's this belief developed or looking for the word, doesn't matter, adopted by a collective. And so I thought, okay, I come from this background and these were the beliefs and this was normal. For example, you know, doing the whole school thing and university and getting a proper job and buying a house, getting married. And, you know, I'm not saying that any of that is wrong. And it's the opposite, actually. It's not wrong. But for sensitive souls like myself, it is freaking overwhelming. And it's not where I wanted to live in, how I wanted to end up. And so what I started to learn is that, okay, nothing is normal. How can I redefine this for myself? What feels in alignment to me? How can I become free from all of that? How can I design my life in a way that feels in alignment to who I authentically am? And what is actually, what does that mean? Who am I actually? And that's when I started to spiritually awaken. And so throughout the journey, there's a lot that I've discovered. There's so many things that I discovered about freedom, about what it means. First, I thought it's just, you know, doing what you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want. And then I started to realize, okay, there's a lot more to freedom than just that, because it is, you know, how we feel within ourselves in any given moment, in any kind of circumstances. You can be in freaking paradise and still feel unhappy and unfulfilled. And so there is a lot to freedom, and freedom is actually what I feel my mission, my purpose. It's my core values. It's not only value, it's a virtue for me. It's something that's just so important to me, I can't really explain. It's my heart, craves freedom. Let's just put it at that. And so through working with a coach right now, she said something that I just knew it just made so much sense. Because even if we would do something different than how we would be brought up or conditioned, if we don't get first to the root cause or the core of that behavior, basically the belief, then all we're going to do is transfer that behavior into an opposite. So for example, you've been raised in a very religious way, okay? This is just an example. And you found out, okay, that's not it for me. I don't resonate with that at all. And you're going to raise your children in a way that's non-religion at all. I hope this example makes sense. You're just flipping the coin. You haven't solved the root problem, you could call it, or the root belief, or the root of that behavior. And so what we don't understand, or what I've come to realize is that in order to become a free human, this is what my coach has mirrored back to me and told me many, many times. In order to be free is to have a choice. To be free is to have a choice. If we are conditioned in a certain way, to show up in a certain way, then it means that automatically this is what we believe. When we are conditioned, it means that we have adopted this belief so deeply within our subconscious that we cannot help ourselves but to act onto that belief. So we're going to manifest that belief into existence, and we're going to repeat that until we bring light onto that subconscious, bring it to the conscious, and reevaluate it, maybe heal it. And then suddenly, because we become aware of it, we get to have a choice. And that's what my coach said. We get to have a choice. So in order to be free, we first need to become aware of our subconscious patterns. Otherwise, we're going to be just a product of our conditioning, of the things that we've maybe adopted from a cultural upbringing, from a familiar family upbringing, until the day that we die. And that's what some people call fate. That's what some people call destiny. And whenever we get to choose, it means that we get to have control, in a way, over our destiny. We get to have control over what we create. And I don't mean that in a way like you need to control everything, because some things in life you won't be able to control. Like, you won't be able to control what happens to you in traffic or what kind of circumstances you're going to end up in. But what we can control is who we become. Because who we become is what we believe. And what we believe is what we think about over and over again. And like my coach said, it's through healing or bringing light to the subconscious, suddenly that subconscious belief doesn't have to be your fate. It doesn't have to be your destiny. Because now we get to have the choice. Is this what is serving me right now or ever? Is this what I actually want to create or continue to create within my reality? If you don't get to the subconscious part of yourself, you won't be able to change any of your future path, because you're just going to keep repeating whatever is there in your subconscious programming, and you cannot help yourself. And so this is some of the things, it's not all, because if I want to share it all, I don't know, it should be, I need a lot more time, and I don't have that because it's currently dark and you cannot maybe see it on camera because I have a very good camera, but it's actually really dark right now. You can hear the crickets already. So I'm going to stop here. Maybe I'll continue another time. Let me know in the comments if you have liked this video, if you resonated with some of that, and let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from, because I'd love to get to know you. If you have liked this video, please like this video, click that like button, and share this video with anyone who you think could benefit from this message right now. I recently started a brand new podcast which is called Returning Home with Lin Lim. You can find it in the link in the description below, or you can go directly onto Spotify or Apple Podcasts if you want to listen on there, and check out my Lightworker merchandise if you want to further support my channel, if you want me to put out content for free 3 times a week. And I'm also sure that if you wear this merchandise, you also spread the message of love, light, awakening, and positivity with the world who desperately needs it right now. And last but not least, if you're new here and haven't already subscribed to the channel, remember to do so, as you will be the first to watch all of my videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so that you can create your best life. I'm really going to tune out now. It's dark and I'm seeing some stars already appearing, which is beautiful. Remember, we have such an exciting future to look forward to, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video. Bye for now.